there's only so much patience I have for you. And today
Good.
Today has already been a day that I'm not happy with. So don't
Yeah,
you fucking
I
start.
was reading, and I was gonna type something out, but I'm already restricted on Facebook, and I can't say what I was gonna say. Otherwise, I'd probably get my account banned.
What are you doing on Facebook?
What are you about to say to a friend? Shut up. Hold on.
No. Say your story.
What are you about to say? Okay, wait.
It would have been advice to you. It would have been advice.
Okay, so what you were about to say is contingent on my story.
Yes.
Okay, then with that, I will say welcome to episode, I'm pretty sure it's 222 of the Crack Brain Podcast. I am your host, Stefan. Joining me today, there's only the three of us. And for some reason, at least when we started talking, two of us were wearing red shirts, and now we are nothing but the Star Trek Going to Die crew at this point.
Mason was already wearing a red shirt, and he hadn't joined yet.
Okay, Mason? Did you really have a red shirt on before we started recording?
No, I was wearing this goat shirt.
What was underneath the goat shirt?
My chest.
Kinky.
That is a gigantic fuck you to Brandon.
What, a goat?
My goat shirt.
The fact that he wasn't wearing red beforehand, even though you said that he was. So you need to shut your damn face.
I bought one for me and my grandpa, and we could be twinsies.
See, there we go. Well, I haven't necessarily introduced the two of them, but you can clearly say it because we've all started talking. We got Brandon and we got Mason on this particular episode, and again, only two of us were originally wearing red shirts, not all three, but now all three of us are. So we're gonna die on this episode of Star Trek: The Crack Brain Edition.
I got a bunny.
Maybe I should take off my shirt then. I don't want to die.
Don't do that. Don't do that. We don't kill any of our audience. I'm gonna tell you right now.
No.
There's now too many people that watch this.
I was gonna say because since the games are now back on the YouTube channel, the views have gone back up.
Yes. Well. Okay. Here's what I will also say. Thank you to all of our new audience. It's amazing. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys have really been enjoying some of our other content if you have been watching it. To those of you that I know personally, not just the ones that I work with.
I was gonna say the people you work with. I think we lost Mason here for a second, though.
Yeah, it's okay. We can keep. We'll keep on going. I will say this much. Yes, I work with an astounding amount of people that now listen to this podcast and tell me all the time about things that we talk about. But now I have more people that I interact with knowingly now. And I love you guys all. And there's two of you guys that even this last weekend, as you told me, it is a gigantic shock that you guys listen to this podcast. So,
are they all from Delta?
No. These ones are not from Delta. These ones don't live in Delta. Don't really interact with Delta other than me. So, yeah, that's the thing.
My headphones died, and I tried to plug them in, and I missed that entire everything.
That's fine, Mason.
More viewers, and then no idea what happened after that.
Mason, not only do we have more viewers, there is an overwhelming amount of people that love you specifically on this podcast.
We all love cinnamon rolls.
Do people listen to this podcast?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we keep going.
Oh, are you sure? I keep going because I need friendship in my life.
Mason, I'm going to tell you right now, there are people out over there that I've explained to... Okay, Mason, I'm not sure if we've told you this, but there's an overwhelming amount of people that, like, years ago, all wanted to corrupt you. And like our great friend Moody was one of them. I'm going to tell you right now, like before Vegas, it was just like, oh, I'm going to corrupt him. I'm going to corrupt him. And now you are such a prized piece of purity in the world that, again, like everyone that finally meets you all has the same reaction. He
is adorable.
He is our Jesus on this planet right now. Like, wow. You're not naive, but you are 100% pure. So,
wow. That's, you know, that means I have so many potential friends just waiting for me somewhere.
Mason, I'm going to tell you Texas. Right now. Dude, where have we not gone that you haven't gotten the greatest, like, oh, that's neat, and us tell you, like, God damn it, Mason. Like, anytime we're sitting there in a convention, how many times have we, to you, Mason, to your face, gone like, God damn it, Mason? Because of some interaction you just had.
I'm so excited. Guys, we're finally recording. I'm so
excited.
There it is. And I got a bunny shirt for the year of the bunny.
Okay. Here's a new dynamic. Which, I realize this is 2 episodes in a row that I'm eating. Again, fuck you guys that don't like eating in the podcast. We need to be comfortable. Look.
Yeah, I want to be comfortable, but no, I have to keep my clothes on.
Shut up.
That is an extreme comfort level you have there.
Yeah, Brandon's baseline is just wrong. I don't even want to say inappropriate. Just wrong. Just wrong. Incorrect.
Wait, hold on.
We could start a different kind of account.
Raw or wrong?
Notice at some point I used the word incorrect, which would denote wrong. You need to listen when people are talking around a conversation with you. Okay? So yes, wrong.
I'm listening.
WRONG. Mason, don't say a goddamn word. Don't sit there and try to justify anything that was about to be said. It's like I can feel you thinking about it.
I was just gonna say,
on my food.
If Brandon gets really comfortable, we could start a different kind of account, and people can send us money monthly for said account. And that is as much as I'm gonna say.
Mason wants us back on the Patreon spicy account type thing. Okay.
I started that. I remember when we were talking about Patreon freaking 4 years ago.
Dude, we did it for a while. And it was great. And it did go, and at that time it did pay some bills that absolutely needed paying. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, Mason, if we were to go and do something on the Patreon or OnlyFans type scenario, you realize what would absolutely have to happen. It happened a couple of episodes ago. Mason's sexy reading.
Wait, Stefan, do you still have the that sweater? What was it called? The boyfriend sweater or whatever?
Yes. I absolutely do have the wife, or was it? Yeah, it was the wife killer or the husband killer.
Oh,
the virgin killer.
Virgin, yeah, that's right. Virgin killer.
I remember that.
Yes, I still have it. For anyone that
was very embarrassing,
that hasn't been a long time listener of the podcast, there is an episode. I have no idea what number, but this was still back when we were doing our live our episodes all together, because it was
called Crack Tube. It was called Crack Tube.
Was that one of the crack tubes? Because I know I put it on during an episode, because it was the same episode that I started twerking in front of the camera. That was an episode.
Well, I don't remember if we did some of the crack tubes live or. I don't know.
I know I did it during an episode. I might have done it during a crack tube. Which,
if you guys could figure out the episode, let me know and I'll send you a prize.
There you go. There you go. You know, I would definitely go and say that because honestly, I'm curious about it. I'm after this episode, I can easily figure it out. So I'll have the knowledge of it very soon before this even comes out. But yeah,
probably somewhere in 2019 is where you should start your search.
I would say probably more towards 2020 because that was still like that was at the old apartment. Yeah, I'm telling you, I remember not only doing it, but I remember the thumbnail from doing it.
I swear it
wasn't March of 2020 when we stopped. That was, I think the
right
last
around
episode
then.
was March with Candace and I, or Candace, Tyler, and I, and that's when we did the whole shooting a fish in a basket. I think that was the last live episode.
I know, but I'm saying like it was still in that time because it was still when we had like the brown couch and the big old chair, and I think
2018.
Yeah, like
I think in 2018.
I think no, it's got to be after 2018. I seriously think it was right around when we ended doing the podcast, or not ended, like put on hiatus.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was during our XCOM videos.
Mm-hmm.
XCOM gonna give it to you, I think was the joke.
Where Patrice was finally Patrice.
Patrice.
God,
I still haven't actually seen the meme. I know that's my little Facebook nickname on our messenger group.
You're goddamn adorable. You're goddamn adorable, Mason. Just know that.
Which, you know, the grandma who hid the machetes behind her microwave, her name was Patrice.
What the fuck?
The vampire baby doll that's in my closet, that was Patrice's.
Okay, Mason, hold on. Hold the fuck on.
Patrice.
Now, look, okay, first of all, are you shitting me right now?
What?
This is facts? This is true?
Yeah. She was the one that had the locked trunk in her basement that the doll was in.
I remember us talking about paranormal vampire killer grandma. Okay, I remember this very accurately. What I'm saying is that you're just now divulging that a nickname that we continue to refer to you as, that I'm going to say this right now. We could instantly go and get like the world's greatest laughter out of Tyler just was hearing this. I'm telling you this right now. Like, he was half the father of the Patrice line. So
yeah.
You're just now letting us know that kick-ass grandma shares the same nickname that we gave you years ago.
Well, and if I remember right, the nickname came because when you had made our Cracked Brain team on XCOM, you went to put my name in, and there was some sort of random autocorrection that changed it to Patrice.
Yeah, it made it to Patrice, and I couldn't finish that, so I created another character that was finally Mason, but Mason died sooner than Patrice did, and Patrice was kick-ass, so we just went like, you know what? Mason, Patrice, same goddamn thing. Like, and again, it stuck. All right. So again, to all of our newer listeners, for that you would have to go back to our YouTube XCOM videos. But yes, we've been calling Mason Patrice for goddamn close to like 3.5 years now.
Oh, Brandon died.
There goes Brandon's video.
Brandon's got a yellow dot.
He does have a yellow dot. To which I will say, Brandon, if you can hear us, okay, no, he's now offline, which means probably in a little bit he'll try to go and come back. That's if he can come back. So audience, I'm probably gonna keep this in. I may keep this in. So we're gonna see if he has the ability to come back. If he doesn't, he'll send a message to us through our own like little private chat, which I now need to get up and open.
So,
just in case.
I was never fully shown, but that joke came from a basketball player named Colby, right? And he made a shot and somebody went Colby, something like that.
Oh.
And then I accidentally said Patrice, and you thought I was referencing that meme or something. Is that the way that works?
Okay, Mason. Mason.
Yes. Yes.
You made a big fuck up. You made a big fuck up. So now that I'm making like this is all reminding me of what was going on. Realize this. Yes, we were talking about a basketball player, and I'm telling you right now, there's probably a large percentage of our audience right now that is screaming the name of this person. Now, here's the thing. You fucked up their name. And I almost sit there and go, how? How?
Well, is the name the thing that they say? Like when they make the shot?
Yeah!
So it's not like a nickname or something?
Not a nickname.
Is it Colby? Colby?
Fucking Christ.
Colby?
No. No.
That's not... Well, what is it? Kobe?
God damn. There you go, Mason.
Kobe.
Kobe.
Coby.
No, okay. You're see, now you're adding too much emphasis to it. It's not like Kobe. It's Kobe. All right. So like when people are going to take it like a far off shot, or just like a shot, thinking that they're gonna make it no problem. It's Kobe, and doing that.
So like Cody, but with a B instead of a Y.
You need to fucking stop. Okay. Yes. All right.
Kobe.
But that's.
I thought there was an L this whole time.
What the fuck, Mason? Wait.
I thought it was Colby.
So, wait, did you think every single time that, like, you saw it in writing, people were messing up the name?
Well, I never saw it in writing.
How did you function as a contributing member of the American populace Mason, do you know who LeBron is?
I read a comic book that was made by LeBron James that was the king of basketball. That's about all I know about him.
I'm gonna let some shit.
From what I read from that comic book.
I'm gonna let some shit slide right now. that you said that was just straight out incorrect.
Well, that was the title of the comic book.
I don't give a shit what the comic book's title was. You, in front of my face, never refer to LeBron James as the king of basketball.
No? Colby.
You need to stop. Okay, Mason, we're about to have this out right here, right now, because just so people know, yes, Brandon lost, so he lost power over to, so he may or may not be coming back.
Wait, but before we continue, can I just say one thing? As complete coincidence, I'm home by myself because my parents took my sister and her 4-year-old son to a basketball game without me. Just by complete coincidence. So I am home alone. I've been home all day alone because they went to work and then went to a jazz game. So, okay, please continue with your information.
Hold on. The main reason why I'm going to tell you to hold on is just for shits and giggles, I want to see who the Jazz are playing tonight. Okay, you know what? It's fine. It's the Charlotte Hornets. As long as it wasn't going to be like the Lakers, I was not about to go and get mad at you. Because that would have been... shut the fuck up, Mason. That
Are the
would've
Lakers
been-
LeBron James? He didn't have a team in the comic book. It was about him going around the world and beating up basketball monsters to become the king of basketball. And it was great. There was like a laser room. Well, it was a laser court, I think. And I think there was like an ice court where he fought a Viking. It was a basketball Viking.
Shut up.
It's great.
Mason. We're about to have some conversations right now. Okay. So just for the next little bit, just until my right hand, the left hand that you would see. Okay, yeah. So this one, I guess, would be over on visually. That would be that'd be on your right hand side because it's on my left. Okay, so again, until you see my right hand go up where you can actually see my hand, just shut up. Just don't say a word. Okay.
Okay.
Mason, this is my left. This is my fucking left. Mason, first of all, let's handle these things counterclockwise in essence. So back to front. LeBron James plays for the Lakers. So you see that connection?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kobe, K-O-B-E, Kobe Bryant, Brandon, goddamn, have you missed some shit? Okay, but just hold on while I finish this out because I gotta get this out. Mason, Kobe Bryant also played for the Lakers. Fantastic basketball player. Fantastic. One of the greats. When we are talking about the king of basketball, realize that there are players before LeBron James that were absolutely fantastic and need to be on that board. Okay? I'm going to list off some names, and then I will get to who I consider number one. Okay? You've got Kobe Bryant. You have Kobe Bryant. There goes Brandon. Michael Jordan. That is another person in that mix. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Another person from the Lakers. Wilt Chamberlain. Okay? Another fantastic player. Okay? I see your back. Hold on. I got to finish this out. Mason, when we are talking about people that should be considered the king of basketball, Michael Jordan. Michael fucking Jordan. All right? The next person that would basically be like the prince, if not equal member part of like that king monarchy, is Kobe Bryant.
Kobe.
I just want to go on record that was Brandon, not me.
What? I'm agreeing with you, Stefan. You can't say Kobe without saying Kobe.
We're gonna kill Stefan. This is gonna be the
I'm
end of
letting you
Cracked Brain.
finish. I'm just giving background noise, okay?
Brandon's gonna inherit Cracked Brain all to himself, and then where will we be?
No, I'm not in line for it. Yes, it is a tragedy of what happened to Kobe.
Brandon?
What?
Brandon?
What?
You don't know what you inadvertently not only proved, but also backed up the wrong opinion.
No.
So fucking well.
I'm sorry. If you guys are wondering, I lost power, and so everything crashed. No, Michael Jordan, of course, number one player of all time. Don't care. I always say it. He defeated the Jazz 2 years in a row. Last, the second time he was sick and everything. So I've. Oh yeah, and then when played baseball, then he came back to basketball. I'm gonna agree. He's number one. But everyone just says Kobe when they toss something. They don't say Jordan.
Michael.
But let's see.
Some of us did.
What's the most important? What's probably the most expensive and probably most popular line of shoes? Jordans.
Oh, those are named after the player? I didn't know that.
Okay. Do you know what the picture of Jordan's, like the logo on Jordan's shoes are? There's a guy doing a dunk. And that is Michael Jordan's pose, his famous trademarked pose dunk.
Let's see.
The mailman has one, but it's a little bit different.
Wait, who's the mailman?
You know that gif of, Tim Allen in the Santa Claus where he just shaves, he closes the mirror, and then all of a sudden comes right back? That's just what happened to me.
What?
Here's the other part of this.
Wait, I'm looking at Jordan's. I'm not seeing a guy with a dunk. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. I've seen that before.
Okay. Now, Mason, real quick.
Hi.
While this is up, I want you to Google.
Oh, here we go.
Utah and then space the mailman and see what name comes up first. What should come up first?
The mailman. That's what will come up.
I swear, if it's some stupid KSL article about an actual, UPS or USPS person, I'll be so goddamn pissed.
Well,
that's what came up.
No, for me, it's Fox 13, which is the first one.
No, mine
is 3 people charged for attacking mail carrier in Salt Lake City.
What is wrong with this? What is wrong with this state? What is...
And then, the second one is Post Malone comes home to Utah.
That's not better! That's...
Okay, he is on the first page. He is the last listing.
So it's Karl Malone.
Yes, Karl Malone. Which,
funny
by the way,
my brother was all.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Mason.
Well, I was gonna say my brother was almost named Malone, and we tease him. So.
That's no fucking relevance.
So right. One of Karl Malone's favorite pictures is of him holding me as a baby. So it was his second year of him being an NBA star, and he loves it. So he's got a museum as dealership, and this is one of his favorite pictures. It's just him holding me as a kid or as a baby. I was just born, so one of his favorite pictures.
Wow.
Also, my brother-in-law works for him too, so it's like. But yeah,
for the mailman.
Wait, so. Stefan, are you on the argument that Michael Jordan was not the best player?
No, that's not at all what this conversation was going on. No, I strongly believe
went out. I lost
that.
It.
Yeah, no. What we basically went back to is the actual history of the Patrice nickname and
the what?
Mason. How we call Mason Patrice.
Oh yeah, I heard that part. That's when Patrice killed someone or whatnot. That's kind of when my power.
Yeah, all that. But how it came back from Kobe, like the original story basically is that same character that we were kind of telling you guys that was Patrice, that was supposed to be Mason. He was a grenadier in the game and would make these long shots with a grenade, and they go over and kill enemies and stuff like that. But I remember sitting there going like Kobe, and then just for shits and giggles, it was like Patrice, and did that in the same way. Okay, So that's why there's that little bit of connection. Brandon,
what?
No. This is not an attack. This is not an attack against you. No, this is some shit Mason just did.
What?
Okay.
Yay.
In trying to backtrack all of this, the we God, how do I say that? So we were backtracking all this and going back like the Kobe route. Mason
While you're
fucked.
offline.
Yeah, while you were offline. Mason, before attributing it back to Kobe, said a different name. Mason, what was that fucking name?
Colby.
With an L
Yeah.
and a C?
Yeah. Colby. Colby. I thought that's what this joke was.
That
the whole
sounds like a
time.
hockey chant.
I
Yeah.
didn't know anything. Why do we have so many sports fans all of a sudden? I didn't know you guys liked sports.
Yeah,
Mason,
I'm a male.
okay,
We were jocks.
Well, okay, yeah, there's that part, and not necessarily the.
Well,
Here's what I will say,
Does
Mason.
swimming count as a jock?
Well, shut your face, Mason. Here's what I will also say. There's our generation of the '90s. Even if you weren't really a sports-minded person, you still knew the people involved in most sports. It's like I really could care less about football, but I know who John Elway is. All right, I'm not asking, dude.
Here,
I realize this.
Let's ask him
Like
if you know
Deion
who
Sanders, like Ken Griffey Jr. These are all names,
Jerry
and I can
Rice.
yeah, see, these are all names that, like, I didn't give a shit about them, their teams, or even, for some of them, their entire sport. But I knew them, and I knew how great they were.
Wayne Gretzky.
I know Tom Brady. That's the only name I've recognized that you guys have said.
Joe Montana.
We never said that name at all, but still.
I meant including what you said.
Okay.
Except LeBron James. I knew that one.
Fucking hell.
Is Karl Malone related to Post Malone?
Shut the fuck up!
So, Mason,
Yes.
no. Do you know that's not his real name?
I assumed.
Okay. I'm glad you got
I know
it.
he's covered in tattoos. He could get a tattoo of like some mail, and then it would be the mailman.
Does he have a mailman?
I'm going to eat my chicken in derision right now. Like, I hate eating this chicken.
Oh wait, here's some ASMR. Ready?
Yeah,
Hey!
so
Fuck you!
I thought we were gonna hear. I thought we were gonna hear Stefan some ASMR.
no,
Some
okay.
Postman.
Okay, so Stefan, what happened today?
You had to ask this as soon as I took a big old fucking piece of chicken. You're an asshole.
Oh, good job.
Well, swallow.
I'm working on it.
Don't put so.
This has been a hard 30 minutes for Stefan.
Every time we record is a hard little bit of time for me. It's just welcome to my role in Cracked Brain. Constant irritation.
Just wait till D&D.
Sounds like a terrible band name.
Don't
Wait
worry
till-
about me. D&D, you won't have to heal me. I'm just gonna be going in. You know,
I still haven't
Leroy
made my
Jenkins.
character.
Okay, Mason.
Alright.
We'll go through a few things, Mason, and we'll help you try and figure out who you want to be.
Maybe we'll do that during the con, like during the not days when we're hanging out.
Maybe.
You can help me make a character.
Oh, we'll
Yeah.
make it a caricature. So.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
anything about D&D.
That's fine. So the bullshit of my day. So today I didn't have work over at as a security guard. I was gonna spend most of today just doing nothing, but I was like, all right, I have one less pest job to go and get done. So I was basically just gonna go and do that. Now this pest job is out over at a national park that is 2.25 hours from here. So I was like, you know what? I've got some time. Let me just run out there. I'll go get it done. It's a well-paying customer, and they're a newer customer, but it's like, cool, I'll go and get it done. So I start driving out there. Now, granted, I tried to go and do this service last week and couldn't do it because it, like, on the way out over there, it was snowing just enough where I was like, you know what, it's not worth it. Because of where I was, it was still like a well-paved road where I was. And even in that time, like, there was still, there, like, it wasn't that there was a big snow buildup, but it was covering the whole, like, it was covering the whole street, and it was still coming down and a little foggy. And I'm like, you know what, this is only going to get worse. There's no point. I'm just going to turn around here. So I didn't do it there. Yesterday kind of snowed out over here, but a lot of it melted off. So I was like, all right, maybe I can get out over there and go. So I start driving out over there. Now, here's the things to know about this particular drive. Okay, again, I told you that, fuck you, Brandon. I told you that it's like 2.25 out over there. So I start driving out over there. 30 minutes in is about the last time that you start seeing, like, homes and businesses and things like that. All right, and the last thing that you basically see is the power plant that I also work at. So that's the last thing. That's 30 minutes in. Another 30 minutes of driving after that, you're basically at the start of the mountain range and things like that. But cell phone service cuts off. So not even halfway into this drive, you have no more cell reception. You are just out there in the boonies. Right around that same area and whatnot, it goes from a well-paved, well-maintained road to you have to go off to the left on a road that is now just dirt. All right, it is now just a dirt road, but it's a wide road. And it's also a main dirt road too. So it's like, okay, you're doing this and no one drives on this road. Like, every time I go out over there, there's usually one person that I'll pass. All right. And it's no homes, no nothing, just, you know, someone will be driving it, and it's just, yeah, it is. It's a very beautiful kind of drive. But I'm going out over there, and the entire time, like today, there's a bunch of like snow banks and things like that. There's a couple of spots that had like 2 feet worth of snow, but like had enough of a path where you could go through. My car's all-wheel drive. It was like, I was going to be able to make it through. So you take that road for about another 30 or so minutes. Then from that road, you've got to take one last dirt road off to the national park. And you're on that road from like the start of that road to the national park is usually about 45 minutes. Now remember, you've already been without cell service for anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes already. So again, like, you're just out there. So I start going over on this other road. And there starts being these like drifts and banks of just like, I'm kind of going and it's like, all right, I'm handling it. And then there's these piles that you can see where another truck had already gone through. But it's just like, I mean, it's maybe 50 yards of just deep snow. And the entire time, like, I'm gunning it to go through. And it's like, and you can feel like kind of a fishtail and kind of go through. I get about 20 minutes into this drive. So I'm like at its halfway point. And finally, I remember coming around a bend that was already kind of sketchy enough and seeing this straightaway and was all like, nope, don't want it. So I didn't jam on the brakes, but like I slowly kind of start trying to like massage the brakes in a way that I was going to slowly be able to stop, because it's like the deep pile was there, didn't matter. Just instantly hit it and shove off the side of the road. And I'm like, God damn it. You know, I was like opening up the door didn't happen. I actually had to roll down my window and climb out through through the window, because
That's pretty bad.
On the driver's side, the snow was packed up so much that like the door would not open. Let alone it was even deeper and almost over the car on the passenger side. So I'm like, all right. So I'm digging myself out and whatnot. And I'm like trying to dig out behind the tires. I'm trying to go, like, I'm just sitting there going like, this is shitty. Now, again, realize this. As I tell the story, I'm going to reiterate some things. I am 20 minutes into a side road, a side dirt road that virtually never gets driven on, that's off of a very seldomly driven other dirt road. And collectively, this is still about an hour and 20, hour and a half from a point that you would get your last bit of cell phone reception. So you're in a plumb spot of fucked. All right. It's like, I can't just call, roadside assistance. No one really drives down this. Like, I am legitimately fucked in most of this. So, like, after a little bit, I started trying to go and clear stuff out. It didn't really work. Excuse me. And right at the point where I was really considering, like, okay, what's my next step? I can either, because I knew that this is a possibility, like, I'd already gassed up before leaving on this trip, so I had plenty of gas. I also had, like, a decent amount of clothes, plus, like, some heavy clothes and things like that, just in case if this kind of went on. And in my weird prep brain, like, I already had, some extra food and some extra water and drinks inside the vehicle too. So it's like, part of me kind of always thought that this was a possibility. However, I'm sitting there going like, all right, do I try to hike it all the way back to the main road? Do I try to hike forward over to the national park? Because again, like, this is 30 minutes or like 25 or so minutes of a drive. That's gonna be about 10 to 14 miles in either direction. Yeah. And I've got to do that when it's already 3.5 feet of snow and a little bit of wind too. Like, I'm gonna it's like, it's gonna be freaking freezing. Like, the sun was still out. It was a clear enough day out over here where, like, it's not gonna be, like, it's not dangerously miserable, but it's at least miserable enough. But, like, I got back inside the car. I kind of sat there for a second. I put on another sweatshirt and was like, fuck it. Let's just I'm at least going to get back out in the car. And, like, as soon as I did that, some other trucks came, like, barreling down. And we're just like, hey, we've got to go over to the national park, but we're just going to pull you out. And I was like, cool, pull me out. I'm not going to go forward. Just pull me out. I'll find a spot to go and turn around and then go. And that's basically what happened. So, like, I was saved by dumb luck.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's never driven.
Yeah, it's like, it's a road that was never driven, and the only, like, I recognize that, with them, they were going out over there for their start of that shift. They would have came back that way at the end of the day, but it's like, there would have been, like, I was over at that point by maybe 11:45. They wouldn't have come back through there until closer to like 6 or 7. So I just would have been either there or back or something like that. Like, there was going to be no movement for at least 6 to 7 hours. So, like, I luckily caught them before they had made that trek. If I had been even like 15 to 20 minutes later than when I did leave, I would have missed them entirely and would have been stuck there till virtually right now. Now they would have gotten me. That's if they would have seen the vehicle coming from the other direction.
In the dark.
And I've got a black car. So it's like, there's so many reasons why they could have possibly not seen it, that it would have been so much worse.
I always keep clothes and stuff in my car because I work outside, and the wind has been horribly, like, my phone said it was like 30 degrees, but the wind chill made it feel like it was 12.
Yup.
When I was working, I think it was yesterday. But I've never thought about keeping food and water. Well, like, that's
again
pretty scary / a good idea.
For where you guys are, you probably wouldn't have to worry about that nearly as much. Out over here, that's something to consider. Where it's like, okay, like, even like, let's say you guys were coming out to visit me, on any of the roads kind of connecting, there's always at least going to be a stretch of an hour or like 45 minutes to an hour of damn near nothing. Now, there are pockets of cell reception, so there's a good chance that you could at least go and contact something. But it's like, if there is a snowstorm and you guys are trying to power through, you could very easily go and get stuck. And it's like,
especially my car.
Yeah, it's like you could get stuck. And if it's at night, who knows what's going to be going on. So, yeah, I would definitely say out over here, it is something to consider. Like, oh, maybe I should have like an extra really good blanket and sleeping bag, like thermal sleeping bag, and some extra clothes, and have like even just some MREs, like have a couple of MREs just sitting with, your roadside assistant kind of stuff. So like that's real stuff to consider out over here. All right.
I actually, in the snow, I think it was either last week or 2 weeks ago, I actually got stuck in my own driveway because my car is so low to the ground that when I drive, I plow the roads.
Mm-hmm. So,
and
yeah.
I had to call out from work, which was half amazing, half terrible.
But I get it.
I got a lot of sass for that one the next day.
I get
Every single person.
All right, Brandon.
That's a good idea, though.
What?
So I recounted my story.
Okay. Well, what I was gonna write on there is like, oh, you got stuck, and I was like, gonna say, man, I would have just gone out and just, because it was huge, I just would have lost and just beaten the crap out of the snow. So I was like, nope, I can't. Right now, my Facebook's restricted, and I'm like, which has been restricted a few times, but I was like, okay, can't have it. Can't write any violence on Facebook, otherwise I'll get in trouble again and probably get banned.
I'm far more tame than what actually just went through my head. Because you sitting there saying that under the context of like, hey, I can't say this for fear of getting like banned or, or restricted or anything like that. I was immediately going to like, you were telling me to go and like beat up the white piece of shit that messed with my car. Like, I was instantly thinking along those lines. I'm like, Brandon, I bet you have my back, but in a slightly like, I don't want to say racist, but prejudiced sort of way.
No, it was like, that was kind of like go and beat up, just lose it and beat up the snow and just go to town. But that's every time I get restricted or flagged, that's because I'm typing something up violent. And yeah, you
should not do that. You should absolutely not do that.
It's like legitimate. Like, I can't say, I was like, I'd go beat the crap out of that guy, or that guy does not deserve any safety or stuff like that. It's real things about people that are pieces of crap in our society that should not exist. And Facebook's like, oh, you go against our community. Yeah, like I think the first one was an old meme that I shared, and it was talking about I shoot myself with small caliber bullets so that I gain resistance to larger ones. And it was just an old joke that I like posted for it's a joke. Because, you start small as tolerance and stuff like that. And I posted this a decade ago. And last year, Facebook went through and reviewed it and says, we reviewed this thing. Your account's now restricted. I was like,
what the heck is Facebook doing? Like, they don't have anything better to do than to look up posts from over 10 years ago from people?
They don't.
I mean, here's what I will say. And this is... It's kind of, it's, I don't want to say it's eye-opening or anything like that, but I could tell one of the reasons why they would do certain things like that. I mean, there's a variety of different ways. There's ways of being like proactive or the devil's advocate. Like proactive, they're trying to basically go like anyone that has a consistent behavior of violent speech, hate speech, anything like that, like they have that kind of thing under a review, possibly to an overextended degree, you know, to which is kind of like, okay, there's a point where it's like, okay, you guys are just nitpicking, you're going after the wrong people. But at the same time, like, how do you differentiate that between other people that actually do cause civil unrest and harm and all that kind of stuff? Not saying that you're doing any of this, Brandon. I'm not. I'm just pointing this out over there because, like, I see good people get raked over the coals for shitty people's behavior. And this is what I would basically say is, like, you're probably getting restricted or something like that, even though you're saying something that's like, no, you're trying to stand up for other people. You're trying to show that, like, this is unjust as far as what the context of that post is actually about. Again, they're going to sit there and flag certain things because you happen to have a couple of keywords or a couple of possible key intentions that are aligned with other people that actually may cause harm to others, you know, especially with certain levels of our current society.
So, let's perfect example of what you just said. This kid, he had a rifle during a protest, and he fired a shot, and the crowd went after him. And an example, I would be the person in the crowd going after a person who's shooting, you know, and things like that, even though the real danger was the original guy with the gun.
Mm-hmm. Which, we'll see in that. I'll tell you right now. As we record this, this is Monday, January 23rd. A couple of days ago, over in...
Was it yesterday or was it a couple days ago?
I want to say it would technically be a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Because I think it actually happened, if I remember, it happened Saturday night.
Okay.
But was reported on Sunday, you know, from most of the time on Sunday. But so what we're talking about is a mass shooting that happened over in Monterey Park, California. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I will blanket say this really quickly. I don't really have much of a connection to Monterey Park, California. Like, yes, I'm from California. I may or may not have, like, friends that either live out there or live near there, but I don't know. So everything I'm saying is not necessarily something as far as, like, I know people and I'm connected. It's like, no. What I will say is that right now, the current climate is so violence heavy that I would strongly advise people, like, when it comes over to either Facebook posts or any kind of conversation or whatnot, be very careful about what's not what you're implying, not the context of what you're saying, literal just buzzwords. Because, like, it right now is just generally a very sensitive, almost kind of tipping point kind of feel. And there are a lot of people that are affected directly by things that are going on, that people that have more of an outspoken voice should also shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of those where it's like, unless you have a reason to talk, it's almost like, don't talk. That's one of the main reasons why, like, I didn't make a post about anything, because it's like, I don't necessarily have a reason to talk. Yes, I'm pissed off that it happened. Yes, I have a strong opinion about some of the issues affecting the whole like increase in frequencies of mass shootings, let alone them in general. However, this is not a time that I feel personally like my voice necessarily needs to be heard. My support should be in some direction, but it doesn't necessarily mean my voice needs to be heard.
Yeah. Kind of going along all this hate that's been really going up, my TikTok today has been nothing but hate, and then also the other side of it about a certain game coming out in a couple weeks. You're thinking about Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of things are going on. It. You could probably have whatever opinion you want, but I am buying the game, and I'm buying the game for a couple of reasons because it's Harry Potter, and two, a member of Crackbrain worked on it.
absolutely. And
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
what? Look, I haven't gotten to do this in such a long time. I need to do a good Ray shout. So some of y'all know what this is about, and it sucks that she's not here to be able to go and receive this, but it's a thing. Anyway.
Yeah, so that's a lot of things is, but I know that my money is going to hit Ray first before it's going to hit the author of the whole genre, and the game studio is here in Utah that made the game, so I'm actually supporting locals by getting it. And one thing that's big, Hogwarts Legacy is the name of the game.
Well, right, but what's wrong with the author?
So J.K. Rowling is... Everyone hates J.K. Rowling because the transphobic things she says. She's about gays and all this stuff. She's she's not a good person. The series, people love it and stuff like that. They grew up on it. It's been... Well, let's just say you got Star Wars, Star Trek, Harry Potter. Probably the top 3 things ever, right?
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. So it's it's definitely in the top 5 of pop culture that has influenced everything. So the fact that they're creating a game, people are like, "Oh, I'm boycotting this," and some people were doing this with the movies because of what she was saying. He's like, "Oh, she's getting paid millions." I'm like, "She's gonna get paid millions no matter what. She's not a good person." But I'm supporting all the other creators and everything like that, and
the Utah game developers and
so
our personal friend
this game though is before Harry Potter, so it's I don't know what 100 years before or something
like that. Yeah,
and I just learned this just a couple of days ago that you can torture and kill other people in the game. You can it's like Fable. You can do whatever you want. So it's just like Fable. So you can do role play, be whatever class you're in, Ravenclaw.
That still exists 100 years before.
Well, when they founded the school, they had the 4 things, and the school is like a millennium. It was like I don't know, like 900 a millennium.
Jeez, I didn't realize the school was that old.
Oh yeah. So you can go around. Like it's open world and everything like that, and you can do the Cruciatus curse on people and stuff like that, and you can just go around and play it just like Fable. You can play good, in the middle, or bad. Fable was a world-changing game where you could actually do good or be bad, but you were still called a hero. Hero is just someone legendary that did huge accomplishments. So you'll see that in a lot of genres. They'll still call you a hero because you're doing legendary things, but the fact that if you're good or evil is open world defining. Fable wasn't too much open world. The second one became more open world than the third one, and this
was before Skyrim, right?
That's a good question.
Fable was before Skyrim.
The first one, yeah.
Or I'm sorry, was it before?
It was after Morrowind, though.
Yeah, but no. But
it was before Obsidian.
When we're talking Skyrim, if I even remember, was it Fable 2 was still before Skyrim, or at least was right around that same time? Because I remember playing Fable 2 before playing Skyrim.
Yeah. So Fable 1 was one of the first Xbox games, right? Or was it a 360 game? I think it was a 360 game.
360
so
game.
It was
Obsidian was.
It was.
I played Obsidian.
It was after Morrowind, and I think probably before Oblivion.
Oh, is Morrowind part of the Oblivion Skyrim?
No, Morrowind. Yeah, it's the third Skyrim or third.
The first
Elder Scrolls. The third Elder Scrolls game is called Morrowind.
Gotcha.
And then you have Oblivion, and then you have Skyrim, which
Right.
will never die.
Because I started on Oblivion, which was really weird because I was also playing Viva Pinata at the same time.
Hey,
So that was a very
when the
interesting
game came out,
experience.
I was doing both games at the same time too. So
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
that's
And
how
then
it
Animal
was.
Crossing on the GameCube. And
I didn't have a
Custom
GameCube.
Robo
Yeah.
and Smash Brothers.
But yeah, but going
Yeah.
on, I am supporting our teammate and buying the game, and it's going to be a fun game. And it's actually going to be one of those things where they're not concentrating so much on the cinematic universe. It's actually a lot of emphasis is going into the gameplay aspect of it.
Yeah, and see, and kind of rounding all of this out, since we are kind of coming up over on time. Look, I realize that, like, whether we're talking about this game that is a controversial topic, to people, like, everyone has their reasons for either supporting or not supporting everything. Like I said, it's like, honestly, I kind of had that same view as Brandon is that I'm doing this more out of support for those that are actually making the game rather than if
Boycotting.
or rather than just dealing with the original creator themselves. Again, like, we happen to know part of the development team ourselves over on Cracked Brain. There's voice actors, like, especially for me, it's something where a lot of voice acting work goes over into this. And when people are attributing success of a certain property, production, title, whatever have you, a lot of that, yes, people's reasons for either boycotting, not buying, or something like that may be to the main production studio, or like that is overseeing one particular part of the production, if not maybe just like the umbrella house or the creator of it. But there's so many people that are involved that sometimes when you're trying to boycott and make your money say something louder than just a simple action, you hurt far more people than you're actually trying to make consider their actions. So again, I'm not trying to dissuade or persuade anyone against this particular purchase. What I'm saying is that sometimes it's not as black and white as people think. So there's that. And then lastly, when it comes over to, the stuff that's going on, look, there have been certain stances that Cracked Brain has taken with certain issues in the past. I'm pretty sure we're all of a similar mindset when it comes over to the ideas surrounding the mass shooting. Maybe, like, and again, the ideas around them are more of just support. Maybe are some of our personal ideologies when it comes over to the political attributes that go with that might be slightly different than each other. But again, I would definitely say is we care for the people more than anything else. So, guys, what I will say is that again, we kind of started this episode with loving the audience and thanking people that have been watching and stuff like that, and that is going straight through over to this particular message as well. Like, love what you love. Try to be a positive portion of society. And when I hear you guys like spreading love as far as this podcast, it makes me feel good about making this content for this kind of audience. You guys are worth doing that for. You guys are the people that are worth continuing to try hard for. You're not the people that I'm worried about shooting up a location because they're having their own particular cultural festival. Okay. I love our audience. I love the people that interact with us, and I think that we're the kind of people that are trying to add something to this world, not try to take away. So that's what I'll kind of end most of this stuff on. I'm sorry that I'm kind of like cutting you guys off in this, but like I'm trying to keep to the hour. but yeah, like I said, there's that, and we hope that you guys kind of stick around. So in this regard, I will say this really quick. Last comments, anything you guys want to go and just shout out real quick before we end this episode?
Live long and prosper.
Colby.
Guys, every
Goodbye, friends.
Every Sunday, check out the YouTube channel for the games that are coming out. We are still continuing the room.
I'm so excited.
Share our love.
And I'm my Instagram is garcat_dh. I'm trying to do comic book stuff. Always wanted to make a comic book, so go see my comic book posts if I'm a good boy and try to do them. And go Colby everywhere you see. Just Colby everything.
I hate this so much. I hate this so goddamn much. With that,
goodbye, friends.
We will talk to y'all later.
Bye.